The ladies, how nice is it going to be to play someone not named Tennessee?
Oh, it's going to be great. Yeah, it's interesting because we have probably had the worst January in terms of getting on the field just with how cold it was. Not because we're afraid of the cold, we're pretty tough, but the field was frozen for the first 3 weeks of January. So we got back and started January 5th, and we didn't get out on this dirt till about 5-6 days ago. But the last 5 or 6 days have been awesome being out here with this beautiful weather.
What have you liked about what Craig's done with the offense this season, and how's that kind of coming along?
Yeah, I like that we're really focused on our mental approach and the situational aspect of hitting. So understanding what we want to look for when we're up there, I think it really simplifies things for the hitters. We've focused a lot on the short game, bunts, the slaps, the steals, hit and runs, things like that. So I think we're going to be a little bit more versatile of an offense than you've seen in the past few years.
A new season, a new team, some familiarity, but what's impressed you about this group going into this season?
This group, we have returners, but when you look at the number of college at-bats our returners have, it's not a high amount. We don't have very many people on this roster who are seniors and are in their fourth year of starting. And then even the ones that are, like a Laura Mueller, 2 years were at Middle Tennessee and now 2 years at Tennessee. So it's veteran in a way, but it's still inexperienced when it comes to the number of ABs they've had. What I really like is the balance between our veterans and our freshmen. Our freshmen are really quick learners. They are, in the starting lineup, or the ones who aren't are really pushing hard for starting time and a lot of innings, and it's because they've been really, really coachable.
Laura kind of finished last year on a defensive high. Just have you seen her take another step in the offseason in that regard?
Yeah, I think Laura came back really focused on being a leader and focused on, she went through last year where transferred from Middle and spent a lot of time just trying to prove she really belonged at Tennessee. And anytime an athlete does that, they get stuck. And she spent a lot of time being stuck. And now her mindset is, man, I'm just going to play and trust my abilities, trust my preparation. And I think that's allowed her to play at a higher level, but also become a better leader because she can focus on the people around her more.
What do you like about this freshman class you brought in?
I like the maturity. We haven't had any issues off the field with these freshmen. And, even when you have good kids, sometimes just they don't know. And so they do some things that have to be addressed. That hasn't happened. They've learned from situations. They've been put in tough situations. Their response, their resilience has been really fun to watch. They're extremely competitive. There's a couple of them that honestly act like juniors and seniors. And so it's been a pretty smooth transition with this class.
How much of a test is this opening weekend for the new pitching staff playing 6 games in 4 days?
Well, it's a huge test. You start Thursday night, and the expectation is you're going to face one of the best pitchers in the nation in Jordy Ball. I don't know that we've ever had an opener that was like that. And yeah, 6 games in 4 days, but I wanted to do that out the gate because I knew we'd have a pretty deep pitching staff and a lot of different options. And we're going to get a real mix of, opponents this weekend. We're going to get heavy righties. We're going to get heavy lefties. We're going to get power. We're going to get some more speed-focused teams. So we're going to see a little bit of everything, and I think we have the tools to match it.
And Coach, getting the exposure, if you will, on MLB Network, that's got to be pretty neat, right?
Yeah, that's cool. That's our first ever time on MLB Network. It's not like they've televised a lot of softball games, but what's really cool about that is, any baseball fan who I've met that has watched softball, they're converted, and they may still watch both, but a lot of them are like, dang, this game is a whole lot faster and a whole lot more fun to watch. So just the opportunity to reach that kind of an audience is pretty special.
Sage and Carlin, just kind of how are their styles in the circle different, and how can they complement each other where maybe one lacks, the other one is a little bit more dominant in?
Well, Carlin is known for her velocity and probably doesn't get enough credit for the other pitches she throws and the ability to spin the ball and change speeds. But then Sage, that's what she's known for, is her ability to make the ball break in all different directions and to throw at different speeds. And she's very unique in that respect. Kind of reminds me of Ellen Renfro. We haven't had somebody with the number of pitches that they can throw at a high level since Ellen, and Sage is that kind of a pitcher. So it's definitely a good compliment to Carlin.
Bella Fobb, great freshman season defensively, so good in the infield for you guys. A little bit slower offensively. What was kind of the focus for her going into her sophomore year to be able to pick it up in the box?
Yeah, and I think if Bella hadn't been hurt, it would have been kind of fun to see what happened to her offensively, because the weekend before she got injured, she hit 2 home runs, against Missouri. So obviously a good opponent, and she was just starting to feel it. What I like about Bella is the leadership she's shown. She's a little quiet when she got here, and you can't be quiet as a shortstop. And so I really kind of pushed her on that last year, and she came back this year, and she's a leader in the infield, and she sees things and directs traffic for us, and that's a game-changing difference for us. I think she's just more comfortable with her set of tools this year. Bella's a versatile hitter. She can drop a bunt, she can hit the ball in the gap, she can work the count, see a lot of pitches, and where she's going to hit in the order, that's what we need her to do.
Got time for 2 more?
How do you kind of still see the influence of Kiki Malloy and her leadership trickle down through some of the leaders that you have right now on the team?
I don't think you can play with Kiki and not be impacted and influenced and inspired by how she leads. And I think every one of our returners would tell you that. And, we don't need another Kiki. You're not going to have another Kiki. But we need everybody to take something that they learned from her and utilize it in their leadership. And I think we're seeing that. I think you see with McKenna Gibson, Boo, we call her, that she's probably a little bit quicker to call something out and hold somebody accountable and not worry about the response she's going to get. And I think you watch Kiki do that for 4 years, and you see that it works, and your teammates are going to respect you for it.
Any more? All right, thank you guys.